Well, I guess I'm not testing the STA2 for today since the test server is down for some reason. So that sucks. But welcome back, folks, for a new episode of Leaked. And today we'll discuss the M4 Sherman Improved. So this modification to the Sherman tank was proposed right after Pearl Harbor. It features a better sloping of the Sherman's armor while having a better engine, so making it more durable against other tanks while survives a little bit longer, so that's always nice. Now this tank never went to full production because some components were not fully tested, so it's only a paper tank. Now if you look at the in-game models for this tank, it's pretty boxy, so it's like a normal Sherman tank, but a lot boxier, so that's always nice. And if it wasn't for the HVSS suspension on this tank, and if it had a double torsion bar interleaved, torsion system suspension like the Panther or the Tiger tanks, I would totally mistaken this thing for a German vehicle because how boxy it is. So that's always pretty fun. Now the turret also looks like a Schmaltern turret on the Panther. That's interesting. So this tank is pretty boxy. Now this tank was made before the Sherman EZ8 as well as the Sherman Jumbo or the Firefly. It was made in December of 1941. So the EZ8 came during the summer of 1944. So this tank was predating the Sherman EZ8, the Sherman Jumbo, as well as the Firefly. So the main armament on this tank is a 75mm M3 gun, the same gun that's on the stock Sherman, as well as the T14. So if you already played the T14, this gun is crap. So alright, but you cannot have everything. And this Sherman tank will be a premium tier 5 American medium tank, so it will cost you around 1500 gold, but it's a little bit less than the Ram 2, so that's always nice. Alright, and here are some more pictures of the Sherman Improved. Now it is a box, so the armor is pretty ubiquitous or uniform, so to speak, so it's pretty much the same all the way around, so that's always nice. There's not that many weak spots. The Radio Man machine gun port is actually stronger than the upper glacis, so that's always good. The lower glacis is actually stronger too, so that's always nice. However, the mantlet is kind of small, so going hull down might not be the best option. So might as well just run around and just circle strafe somebody instead of going hull down because the mantlet is not that big. So alright, but the armor is uniform, so it's pretty much the same all the way around, so that's always nice. You can count on side scraping if you need to, even though that's a bad idea, so just play as normal mediums, but armor is still reliable, not like the Ram 2, whereas the armor is just weird. I'll explain it more later, obviously. But here are the main stats for the Imp. Now it's going to be a tier 5 premium medium tank, so it will cost you around 1500 or so gold. Now that's still cheaper than the Ram 2, which is 1750 gold, so 250 less, so that's always nice. Hit points, it has 480, which is below average in my opinion, due to the fact that normal premium tier 5s medium tanks has about 620 health, so that's kind of low in my opinion. Like a normal tier 5 medium tank, not premium, so that's weird. Alright, it has a 640 horsepower engine, weighs about 38 tons, so power to weight ratio is about 16.5 with equipment, so that's pretty good. Top speed is 56 kilometers per hour, which is great. Reverse is 25 kilometers per hour, which is great, so you actually could back up pretty fast, so that's always nice. Hull traverse is 39 degrees per second, which is respectable, average, still decent. Terrain resistance is 0.959 or 0.96 for hard, 1.055 for medium, 1.8 for soft, which is the same as the Sherman tank, but a little bit worse for the soft terrain resistance. So this is a little bit worse. Turret traverse is 40 degrees per second, 40.7 degrees per second, which is good. View range is the same as the Sherman, 370 meters, which is good, very good for tier 5. Radio range is about 600 meters, so that's always good. Decent. Hull armor is about 51 millimeters at the front, 63.5 at the sides, and about 50.8 at the rear. So pretty uniform armor all the way around, like a box. Turret armor is 76.2 at the front, 50.8 at the side, and likely 50.8 at the rear. So box. Quite alright armor. Now the gun is a 75mm M3 gun, the same gun that's on the stock Sherman, the same gun that's on the T14, so penetration is not that good. About 92mm of penetration, which is not that great. APCR gold ammo will cost you a lot for only 127mm of penetration, so yeah, penetration wise not the best. Damage wise also not the best. High explosive, alright, it's a high explosive, there's nothing to talk about that. Rate of fire is about 16 rounds per minute. DPM is a little bit better than the Sherman, but you have to count on penetrating. So, alright, it's not a bad DPM for tier 5. Certainly not the worst. So, alright, reloads every 3.5 seconds with a rammer and vents or so. Accuracy is not good, but it's a little bit better than the T14, 0.42. Whereas for the T14, the accuracy on that tank is 0.44. So, pretty god-awful accuracy, but what do you expect from this gun? So, ugh. Aim time is 2 seconds, which is okay. And gun depression is 10 degrees, so like all Americans. Now, if you're going to play this tank, play it like a brawler, because top speed is good, power to weight ratio is good, hull traverse is decent, and turret traverse is very good, so you actually could brawl with this tank. And the armor is pretty uniform, so you can actually bounce a few shots with a 63.5mm of side armor, side scraping, so not a bad brawler. Alright. And here are some stat comparisons for the Sherman improved. Now it has a little bit better armor than the normal Sherman because the lower glacis is actually stronger. So as you can see here, the lower glacis is the same as the upper glacis on the normal Sherman. So, alright. Now, the turret size is actually smaller, but it has a smaller mantlet. So, that's the trade-off. But I would rather have a smaller size of a mantlet and smaller turret than have a large mantlet with no armor behind it. So, I would rather have this turret. Now, the side armor is also better because the side armor on the Imp is 63mm. Whereas on the normal Sherman, it's only 38mm. So you could side scrape with the Imp. So that's always a plus. Now let's look at the other stats for the Sherman Improved in comparison to other tanks. It doesn't have the best penetration in comparison to the normal 75mm. So, but it has a little bit better DPM than the normal Sherman. So that's always good. Reloads a little bit faster, obviously. So that's always a plus. It has the same. Oh, I didn't know the Sherman has 12 degrees gun depression. That's actually interesting. Huh. The normal Sherman has 12 degrees gun depression, whereas on the Improved it has only 10. That's something new. Alright. Accuracy wise, pretty much the same, almost the same. That's actually good. Aim time is nice. It's actually worse on the normal Sherman, so aim time is actually good, so that's always a plus. That's nice. Let's look at the power to weight ratio and other stuff. So it has a little bit better power to weight ratio and turns a little bit faster, so that's good. Turret also turns a little bit faster, so that's always nice. It moves pretty much faster forwards and backwards, so that's good. The only downside is the soft terrain resistance is 0.2 worse than the normal Sherman, but that's alright. That's fine by me. Now hit points wise, it's only 20 more than the normal Sherman, which is surprising because if you look at stuff like the Ram 2, where the hell is it? Sherman 3. Oh, can look at that up later. What the hell is Ram 2? So premium tanks at tier 5 mediums has about 610 health, whereas for this premium tank it has only 480. So that's surprising to me. Looks at the T25, that's about the same. Oops. So yeah, T25 also has about 600 health. So I don't know why it has low health. That's surprising. Alright, back to the M4. But alright, I guess. So let's look at other stuff. It weighs. Yeah, weighs. There it is. It weighs a little bit heavier, so you can actually go ram stuff. That's always nice. It turns a bit faster. We already discussed that. View range is the same, 370 meters for tier 5 medium. That's actually pretty good. Radio range is only 50 off, but not that much, so still decent. That's alright. So basically, the Sherman Improve is like playing the T14, but with better view range, less armor, but more mobility. So let's look at the T14. So you can see with the T14, the upper glacis is about the same as the Sherman Improve. Lower glacis is actually way better, obviously, it's a heavy tank. And turret is actually way better, since it's a heavy tank, but it uses the same gun. So quite alright. So it's like playing a T14 with a little bit less armor, but more mobility. So it has better power to weight ratio, that's always good. It turns faster, it moves faster. Terrain resistance is actually pretty much the same, almost the same. So yeah, okay. That's that off. Penetration is the same gun. So DPM is a little bit better on the T14, but that's not much. But it has way better view range, so that's always a plus. 40 more meters. So that's a big difference. Now the T14 does have health advantage, so alright. And it weighs a little bit more, so okay. And it gets preferential matchmaking. Now based on the current release of premium tanks, I'm thinking that this Sherman Improve are not getting premium matchmaking. So if it would be great if this tank gets premium matchmaking because of the gun. Now I don't know, because current premium tanks that are released are not getting premium matchmaking. The IS-5 is getting the buff from a 175mm penetration to 221mm of penetration. So it will see up to tier 10s now. And the Scorpion will see up to tier 9. The STA-2 will see up to tier 10s, obviously. The AMX CDC will see up to tier 10s. So there's no new tank with preferential matchmaking. So I'm guessing that this tank will not get it. But it's only tier 5 though, so it might still get premium matchmaking. So I don't know. So that's up to debate, and we can talk about it later. But as it stands, should you buy the Sherman Improved or the T14 or the Ram 2? Which one would you choose? Now, that's a difficult question, because the T14 has health, costs the same gun, with a little bit less accuracy, as you can see here, 0.44 in comparison to 0.42. So accuracy is not as good, but aim time is a little bit faster, and about the same gun depression. So basically you're trading a few armor strips as well as the turret, the armor on the turret, for better mobility for the Sherman Improved. So yeah, T14, Ram 2, or the Sherman Improved. Let's see, Ram 2. I have to compare the stats. Now Ram 2 has a lot of health because it's a normal tier 5 premium medium tank, so it has 600 health. It does get penetration advantage by 13 more millimeters, but damage is not as good. But DPM, if managed to penetrate, is about 2000, so that's pretty good. Accuracy is about the same. Power to weight ratio is about the same, but the Sherman Improve is a lot faster, way faster. So, and has better view range. So Sherman Improved or the Ram. Now the Ram 2 doesn't have that good of an armor, so to speak. It has weak lower glacis, upper glacis is about the same, so not that good. It has a weird machine gun weak spot, ricochet spots, so the armor is not uniform like the Sherman Improved. Side armor is also the same actually, other than this port for the driver, I think. So whatever this port is, or the ammunition stowage. So all right, which tank would you get, or would I get? Sherman improved, Ram 2, or the T-14? I like mobility. Since it's a medium tank, I like mobility, and top speed of 56 kilometers per hour is pretty good, and power to weight ratio is actually pretty good. Terrain resistance is about the same, so I cannot complain. And let's look at the other stats like turret traverse and hull traverse, a little bit better. So the gun is not that good, but I would rather get the improved because of the mobility, since it's a medium tank and you can just flank behind other stuff, so you don't need to shoot at the frontal armor. So pretty much I will get the improved. Yep. And the final verdict for the Sherman improved is that this tank is pretty alright for a tier 5 premium medium tank. Now it doesn't have the health, but that might be a placeholder stat, so the health is not that good. The gun is also not that good, but it does have the mobility to get behind stuff and shoot at them, whereas for the T-14 it doesn't have that good of a mobility. Now if this tank has preferential matchmaking, I might pick it up because I play a lot of American mediums, so that's always nice. So if this tank was on sale for like 750 gold, I might pick it up. It's not that bad. But as it stands, they really need to buff the HP on this tank because it's not as good as a normal premium tier 5 mediums. So they might be able to buff this HP stats. Whereas for the other stuff like the view range, that's pretty good. The top speed and reverse speed, that's also good. Power to weight ratio is good. Terrain resistance is good. Traverse is good. Armor is decent. It's a tier 5 medium tank, so 63.5 millimeters of side armor for a tier 5 medium. That's actually pretty good for side scraping, so that's decent. Damage is not as good, so DPM is mediocre. Penetration is kind of bad, so that's the only bad parts about this tank with crappy accuracy. So the gun is not the best gun, but if you can't get behind somebody with support, you can still penetrate. So alright, it's a premium tank after all. Now I will probably buy it if it has premium matchmaking. So as it stands, it's not a bad tank, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. And the Sherman improved doesn't have a backstory, so I don't want to talk like 10 hours on the Sherman tank because it's a fucking Sherman tank. It takes so long. So thank you guys for watching this video. Comment below on what you think about the Sherman improve. Rate this video if you can. That always help me out make my own decisions and see what I did wrong or did not do and stuff like that. So that's always a plus. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.